come across the headline about the SCO Summit and unsure what it is all about, or you have been thinking that this world is going to end after the Iran Israel conflict, but still unsure some of the main points that came up because of it, or you have been hearing the name Axiom-4 Mission and been thinking that it's some sort of war mission straight out of science fiction. If any of these things are circling your mind, then you are in the right place. Coming right up is an overview of all these and more on the Sunday Saga show. In the end, we hope you will be left a tad bit more knowledgeable than everyone else and your actually might work confidently. SCO Summit 2025 was held between June 25 and June 27 in Qingdao, China. The members of SCO include Kazakhstan, China, Kyrgyzstan, Pakistan, Russia, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Iran, and India. China chaired the SCO 2025 under the theme of upholding the Shanghai spirit, SCO on the move. But what is SCO and why is it so important? We have Hazel to explain that for us. Shanghai Cooperation Organization. It was established in 2001 by China, Russia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan. In 2017, India and Pakistan joined the SCO, while Iran joined it in 2023, that is 2 years ago. There are observer states part of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, which include Mongolia, Belarus, and Afghanistan. We have dialogue partner states, which are 14 countries, including Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Nepal, and the UAE. The official languages of SCO are Chinese and Russian. Why is it significant? Well, that is because it is the largest regional organization by geography and population. It covers 80% of Eurasia, 40% of the world's population, and it accounts for 20% of the global GDP and controls significant oil and gas reserves. The goal of SCO is to promote regional peace, stability, economic cooperation, and combat terrorism, extremism, and separatism. The structure of the SCO is the Council of Heads of State, which is the topmost decision-making body. Then we have the Council of Heads of Government, which they focus on economic cooperation and budgets. And then there are permanent bodies such as the Secretariat based in Beijing and Regional Anti-Terrorist Structure, RATS, based in Tashkent. The SCO organization has actually collaborated with UN, ASEAN, ASEAN, not ASIAN, and other international bodies. However, the SCO has faced a few challenges and criticism, such as economic issues, which arise from the fact that Russia is resistant, or Chinese financial dominance, Afghanistan's instability, and the Taliban rule, which has divided many SCO members. Also, some bit of political criticism because it's seen as a platform for authoritarian regimes like China and Russia to challenge the Western norms. However, India's membership does add a bit of balance and represent democratic values. It is been called out for its ineffectiveness, its lack of actionable outcomes when compared to other organizations like ASEAN, ASEAN, not ASIAN, or the EU or the European Union. Thank you, Hazel. I am not paid enough to do this. I promised a month worth of chicken. You promised, but there was no treaty. Thank you for bringing up the word treaty for us, though, because that brings us to our next topic, the Iran and Israel conflict. Now, Israel started attacking Iran around June 13 in 2025 with what they said was a preemptive strike, a pre-self-defense, if you may, by destroying some of Iran's nuclear facilities, military sites, and infrastructure, and eventually soon US joined in too. But this conflict did bring up a treaty known as the NPT, or Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, also called as Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons. But what is NPT? Hazel has got us covered on this. 3 different names for one single thing. Are you guys serious? Like, you have 3 different names. Why can't you guys have just one single name? Call it one thing. Anywho, this NPT, renamed brainchild of you humans, was adopted on July 1st, 1968. It was effective from March 1970 for a 25-year period. UK, US, Soviet Union, and 59 other states initially signed it, with additional countries joining in later. However, India, Israel, Pakistan never signed the treaty, and North Korea, that did, eventually withdrew in 2003. The idea was simple. Those who were nuclear armed, who had nuclear power, were asked to not assist states that did not have nuclear power in acquiring nuclear power or weapons, and those who did not have were asked to give up on developing nuclear powered weapons. So, nuclear states, disarmament, and those who did have, they were asked to only focus on using nuclear power for development, such as using it for generating electricity or something like that. Eventually, in 1995, unconditionally, it was extended indefinitely after 174 countries unanimously voted for this idea at the UN. There are a few criticisms that the NPT faces, because everything you humans do face criticisms. Learn from us. Whatever we do never faces criticism. So, first of all, the idea that those that had a nuclear powered weapon, those states that were nuclear armed, got to retain whatever nuclear arsenal they had, while at the same time those who did not could not attain it, could not have it. So, to understand it, just imagine a group of people where some people have found sticks, and they are using sticks to beat other people. Eventually, they decide that, we should stop using sticks. We should stop letting other people acquire sticks. And so they come up with a treaty that no one from now on will be allowed to take hold of a stick. However, there is a problem. Those who already have taken a stick continue to have that stick. And those who signed this treaty but did never have a stick can never get a stick, which leaves them in an awkward position in case those who do have a stick kind of decide to use that stick. So, North Korea eventually withdrew from this treaty in 2003 and decided to pursue nuclear weapons, which might have come up from the idea that they realized, well, this is not fair, we gotta have a stick for us too. if you get what I mean. Iraq and Iran, despite having signed, are alleged to have sticks. Nuclear weapons program. And the fact that India and Pakistan became nuclear powers in 1998 put the treaty's credibility under question. In 2005's review conference, the non-nuclear states did raise a voice against the fact that there was no progress from the nuclear states in terms of disarmament, that those who had sticks weren't doing enough to get rid of them. However, it is still at the center of, international nuclear talks, nuclear proliferation, and the promotion of disarmament. Excellent information, but you kind of look angry. Are you okay? How can I be okay? I signed this thing and now I don't have anything to dominate the world. But you're not a country. You humans were so scared of me that you didn't allow me to have this thing. I would have been at the top of the world. You have a concerning attitude. But, you know what? There is something that can put you at the top of the world. A mountain. Which brings us to our third topic of the day, which is Mount Kailash and the Mansarovar Lake. Well, after the COVID-19 and the tensions between India and China following the Galwan Valley clash, the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra had been kind of stopped, but it has now resumed after almost 6 years, which has allowed devotees to undertake this once-in-a-lifetime pilgrimage to Mount Kailash. Hazel, a brief geography lesson here, please. Yes. So Mount Kailash is in China, in the Tibetan part of China, and it is the source of some of Asia's longest rivers. It's part of the Ganges range, which is a subset of Trans-Himalayas. It stands at an elevation of 6,638 meters or 21,778 feet above sea level. It is known for its nearly symmetrical shape with distinct vertical ridges, steep cliffs, and a striking pyramid-like structure. It is covered in snow year-round. The 4 major rivers that find their source here are the Indus River, the Brahmaputra River or Yarlung Tsangpo, Satluj, which is a tributary of Indus, Karnali River, which is a tributary of Ganges or Ganga. It is religiously significant in Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, as well as Bon. Lake Mansarovar lies near Mount Kailash in the Nagari prefecture of Tibet. It is situated at an elevation of 4,590 meters or 15,060 feet above ground level, which makes it one of the highest freshwater lakes in the world. It covers an approximate area of 320 square kilometers and a depth of 90 meters with crystal clear water that often reflects the surrounding mountains, creating breathtaking views. It is also religiously significant in Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Bon traditions. It lies about 20 kilometers away from Mount Kailash. To be fair, 6,000 meters is not enough for me to be at the top of the world. Don't worry, there is another way for you to be top of the world. Go to space. That is not top of the world. That is out of the world. It is, however, a great point to talk about our next thing, the Axiom-4 Mission. I'm not explaining it. Why? They refuse me entry aboard. I hate them. You hate everyone. Anyways, after what seemed like ages, delays after delays due to some sort of technical difficulties, the Axiom-4 crew finally made it to the International Space Station. This mission was organized by the Texas-based startup Axiom Space in partnership with SpaceX and NASA's, and it is NASA's fourth all-private astronaut mission to International Space Station, with members from USA, India, Poland, and Hungary as part of the crew. Shubhanshu Shukla, which is part of the crew, will be India's second national astronaut to go into space since 1984 after Rakesh Sharma. Hazel, you said that they didn't let you aboard. Does that mean that you know what this mission is about? I take my words back. Can't do that now. Okay, this mission is a collaboration between Axiom Space, which is a private company, the National Aeronautics Space Administration, NASA, Indian Space Research Organization ISRO, and the European Space Agency ESA. NASA, ISRO, ESA. The crew members will be spending 14 days on the International Space Station doing whatever the heck you humans do when you go on these missions. Something about microgravity research, all sort of technology demonstrations and whatever the hell you guys do. Yeah, that. Thank you, Hazel. See, I knew you would come around. Whatever. I don't feel like you people treat me as I deserve. Is it that hard for you to afford 2 or 3 servants for me? You are so demanding. You should be aware of your privileges, Hazel. There are animals that don't have such privileges. And these animals face the risk of extinction. I like privileges. Of course you do. You have been bossing me around all through this episode. How about you speak now? Let me see. Aha! This SAFTA and ESCAP. Whatever this is. Well, SAFTA is SAFTA, or South Asian Free Trade Area, and ESCAP is Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific. Another one of your people's organizations to make things harder, right? No, Hazel, they are there to make things easier. Of course they are. Okay, SAFTA is actually a free trade agreement of the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, or SAARC. It came into being in 2006 as a succession as an afterwards of the 1993 SAARC preferential trading arrangement. The signatory countries include Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. The idea or the objective of this agreement is to promote and enhance mutual trade and economic cooperation among the signatories. Eliminate barriers to trade and facilitate cross-border movement of goods between territories of the countries, promote fair competition in the free trade area, and ensure equitable benefits to all of the states, taking into the perspective all sorts of the economical development level that the countries have. Think of it as a sort of the EU of South Asia. And the UNESCAP, or the UN Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific, on the other hand, is an administrative body of the United Nations. It's responsible for the Asian and Pacific region, focusing primarily on fostering economic and social development and promoting regional and sub-regional cooperation and integration. It works to promote inclusive and sustainable development in the region, and it does that by giving technical support, capacity building, policy advice to the member states. It also conducts research and analysis in topics such as economic growth, poverty reduction, climate change, and disaster risk reduction. And that brings us to the end of this episode. Hazel, I think you know a lot, don't you? I also know the secrets of every single person in this world. I don't think you should say that loud out here. No one can dare hurt me, 'cause I'm a cat. I'm just a cat, a cute cat. Okay, let's keep that aside. I had someone make a sculpture of me once. It wasn't good, so I had to scratch him. You're mean and cruel. But as much as I had to bear you on the show today with your grumpy attitude, it was an informative session. If you guys don't subscribe and like, I will not get paid enough, and that means I'll go crazy. Keep that in mind. Okay, Hazel, I think you need to stop threatening people. But hey, do subscribe and like this video. And that brings us to the end of the Sunday Saga episode this week. But there will be one next week, so stay tuned for that. So you will be seeing Hazel next week, while I'll be back tomorrow with another ambassador from some special animal community. Till then, see you. Take care. Bye. You won't spare them, will you? Hazel, the episode has ended.